From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LALATE.
It's a big night with shockers of news stories coming in left and right as we got the June's jobs number, and boy, was it a surprise. The June jobs number released today, and what do we learn across the board? We learned that we added more jobs in the month of June than expected. That's a big surprise because in the month of May, we also had a great number, and yesterday we had horrible unemployment numbers. What's at issue? You need to get that forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. Go right in this video and become a member. Get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and get that stimulus check. $100,000. You get it right tonight because, folks, we've never seen an economy so confusing as it is tonight. The June jobs number major beat released this morning. That's a big shocker. Yesterday, the unemployment number's horrible. What's going on? I'll explain the details in tonight's recording. That's why you don't wait for anything. This economy is too difficult to project and too difficult to predict. But what else do we know tonight? We also know tonight that we are in a recession. We are in a recession, and this economy is changing dramatically day in, day out. That recession is started, but the heart of the recession may not be here. We'll be going over why the recession underway is there, but the heart is just months away. We'll understand why you have to get that forced stimulus check in every U.S. state tonight. You can't wait because the financial clip is coming. We'll go over what's at issue and why you need to get this money across the board. Plus, we'll be going to the latest situation on the big money at issue with the Build Back Better Act, what you need to know, and the big money happening. Then we'll be turning to the next part of the equation, which is the raising up of your benefits. Yes, your benefits are going up, and we'll go over how much they're happening. Then we'll be turning to the next question, which is what if gasoline remains lower? Will your benefits also track lower as well? Forced stimulus check is in every U.S. state. You're not going to wait to get that money. You're going to get this money right tonight. Go right in this video, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP, and stay to the second half. It's a big night with a lot of money and confusing economic data. Stay with me. Over this 1 hour broadcast, we have $100,000 of stimulus checks in every U.S. state. It's evenings, and it starts right now. And good evening, everybody. Hope you're having a beautiful night across the board. The Build Back Better Act is going to get done, but not soon enough. And the recession's underway. The concern about that is that this economy is too difficult to project. You need to get that forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. Did you become a member during the opening credits? Do it right now. Go right in this video and become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Casino VIP. Get those incredible stimulus checks in every U.S. state, $100,000 across the board, and stay the second half as we go over these incredible checks. You need them, and you can't wait to get this big money. Tonight we have a lot of issues at hand, and it started with the shocker of a day when we got that new jobs number release just before dawn, featured on afternoons, and boy, was it a big surprise. Let's go over everything you need to know starting right now for July 8th, 2022. The June jobs number was released before sunrise, and it was a beat. A beat. Whoa, what happened? Wall Street is expecting 250,000 jobs created in the month of June. That was the projection. It was a projection downward from the month of May that came in at 384,000 jobs created that month. So what happened? Did it come in at the money, as a miss, or as a beat? It was a major beat. Let's go over again those numbers one more time. The month of May had 384,000 jobs created in the U.S. economy non-farm payroll. Wall Street expected the month of June's number, released today, to be 250,000. What did it come in at? 372,000. What a major beat. This was a shocker. In fact, it's just shy of 14,000 less than the month before. The analysts came in with their comments shortly thereafter. The strong 372,000 gain in the non-farm payroll in the month of June appears to be a mockery of claims that the economy is heading into or already has started a recession, says Andrew Hunter, senior economist at Capital Economics. Do I agree? My analysis coming up in a second. The other comments and the analysis and the impact followed shortly thereafter. Stocks surged initially and then pulled back. The 10-year Treasury yield surged dramatically to 3.06% by 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, but the yield inversion still was there. Yield inversion is when the 10-year note and the 2-year note invert. That happens when you're in a recession. Governor Christopher Waller of the Federal Reserve, before the number was released, said, do big rate hikes when the economy is strong so that the labor market can take it. I'll be going over more about that comment in a second. And then Wells Fargo's Michael Schumacher, who's head of macro strategy, said, the overall picture is a strong job market. I say quite good earnings growth would come thereafter. Expect 75 basis points from the Federal Reserve in the next few days. The yield on the 10-year note went up, but stocks fell, like Netflix and Match down 2% and 3%. And then Levi Strauss surging 3% after reported strong quarterly earnings, but GameStop down 6% with bad news as well today as across the board. So what is my takeaway on the number? And this may confuse you. Let's take it back before we understand the analysis. Yesterday, the jobless claims number was released. These are people newly on unemployment. If you've been with this channel since March of 2022 when it launched, every Thursday morning, I have for you the new jobless claims number. What is that number? That is the people newly on unemployment that week, people who newly declared unemployment that week, that were not unemployed the week before. So what's the difference between that and the number released today? This is the number of jobs created in the economy, non-farm payroll, in the month of June. So, what is my analysis of the situation? My analysis of the situation is the following. I believe that corporate America understood this economy is going into recession, understood this economy is slowing, understood that their corporate earnings may not be that strong by the end of the year, hire when they can, hire and beef up their corporate earnings for the month of June and the month of May before it gets bad later in the year. That's my analysis situation. If we look back at the month of June, you and I all understood that the end of the year is not going to be that good. We understood that 2023 and 2024 is not going to be good. And I believe that corporate America beefed up their hiring last month on the belief that they should make money on the come before the economy slows down. Now, do I agree with the analysts' comments? Let's go over each of them one at a time. Do I agree if Andrew Hunter says we're not in a recession? Of course we're in a recession. This number is not an indication that we're not in a recession. A recession is defined 2 negative quarters of GDP growth. We already have that confirmation. We got it a week ago today. When the Atlanta Fed GDP Now number was released, and that data tracked the second quarter of this year, posting negative GDP growth. That defines it as a recession. A recession's underway because we've had now 2 negative quarters of GDP growth. But we didn't know if Wall Street was going to believe that we're in a recession until this Tuesday. Last Friday, when the negative number came in from Atlanta GDP Now, it's not an official number. The official number doesn't come in from Department of Labor until July 28th. But on Tuesday, Wall Street traded downward. Stocks, bonds, and crypto, all on the belief that the recession is, as defined, is underway. So when is the hurt of a recession? The hurt of a recession is next year. Sound confusing? It may be confusing. Confusing with conflicting analysis from financial gurus left and right? Yes. That's why you can't wait to get that voice stimulus check in every U.S. state. You can't bet on where this economy is because it's a confusing economy. June jobs number, recession, things are changing by the second. Build Back Better Act. You can't wait for any of these things to happen because it's just a confusing economy. You go right in this video right now, become a member, join the channel, and get that incredible $100,000 of stimulus checks in every U.S. state approximately. Single individual, 75,000 less, you qualify. Married couple, 150,000 less, you qualify. Renter owner with children, with not children. Married, not married, on benefits, not on benefits, SSI and SSDI, you get it. It is money from the federal government, done in the month of March by executive order from Joseph Biden, not Congress, no vote, not from your state. If you're a state that thinks it does, if you're in a state that you believe does not help you, maybe you're right. This is not their money. This is not state stimulus. This is not state law. It's from the federal government and averages about $100,000. It's a lot. And how do you get it? Step 1, subscribe. Step 2, become a member. And step 3, stay to the second half of this video as we go over all these incredible checks one at a time. Let's go back to this data, this jobs number and the recession and what you need to know across the board. First, is the job labor market strong at the moment? It's a mixed bag to say. It's not particularly horrible, but it's not particularly strong either. Let's look at the data we've had in the last 24 hours that is relatively conflicting. Yesterday, we had the unemployment numbers come in, 230,000 new jobless claims. Today, we had the job creation number, and it was a major beat. Today was a beat, yesterday was a miss. Let's go over why that's happening starting right now. The Thursday number is the number of new unemployment claims per week. And where is it tracking? It's tracking at a really bad level. If you look at the chart, it basically looks like January down to a lower improving level and then coming back up and continue to surge. The number of new weekly unemployment claims, this is newly people on unemployment, has grown back to the highest levels of 2022. We haven't seen these levels since January of this year. It was at 180, which is where it should be coming out of a pandemic. Then it got to 200 4 weeks ago. I projected 230,000 new jobless claims 3 weeks ago. I got it right. Then 230, I projected the week after that, again right. Then 2 more weeks, well, I got the week after that. And this week I projected 230 for yesterday. Did I get it right? I got it wrong. 235. Yeah, it surged higher. As one kind viewer sent me a private message on Facebook, said, LA, what was the jobless claims number yesterday? 235. And the viewers gave me a shocker emoji. Yeah, I love my viewers that do that. I love my viewers who are asking for the data, who want to know exactly where this economy is and has a reaction when it comes in, because that means they're tracking this economy with you and I. 235 is a bad number. That was yesterday. So then today, when we saw the job creation number at beating 250, job creation, how many jobs were created in this economy in the month of June, projected 250, it's a beat at 372. Then why was it a beat? Let's look at the numbers breakdown right now. Warehouse added 36,000 jobs in the month of June. Healthcare added 57,000. Hospitality and leisure, the big one, 67,000. Social assistance, 21,000. And government jobs lost 9,000. Why was the major raise of those numbers in travel and hospitality and leisure? You know why. Because the airlines, hospitality and leisure, believe it's a strong travel market right now, with consumers in the month of Memorial Day weekend, June, willing to spend $500 round trip on a domestic airfare, but unlikely to do that by October. If you're in the travel and leisure, you understand that people are spending money on travel and leisure now, but they're not going to spend that money indefinitely. And that's why you would bulk up the jobs right now to make the bottom line. Here's another way to look at it. If you endured the pandemic, you understood you made no money during the pandemic, perhaps. Then you came out of the pandemic, let's make money really quickly. Let's catch up with what we lost. It's something much the same today. You understand the horizon is bad, and you want to make the money before the recessionary hurt comes. Now, what is a recessionary hurt, and how different is it from an actual recession? I've been reporting since last Friday, when that Atlanta GDP Now number came in, that we're in a recession. The official confirmation will come from July 28th from Department of Labor, but we're not going to wait for that. Stocks, bonds, crypto, oil are all trading down based upon the belief we are already in recession. But when is the hurt of a recession coming? That hurt of a recession is not coming until January 2023. So you're not going to feel the impact of the recession until then. That hurt of the recession is going to hit dramatically for Americans who think, maybe I'm not in a recession because I don't feel it. Well, you don't feel the recession initially. The feel of the recession is delayed. And if you act inaccurately, if you do rampant spending, if you don't prepare accordingly, then guess what's going to happen? There's going to be a bust. Let me go over that bust starting right now. There's a new report out in just the last 15 minutes since Afternoons LA that had one reporter, one insider commenting about the crypto industry. Bitcoin surging from 18,000 last week to 21,000. And the quote was the following: if it breaks 23,000, it's going to 38,000. We're done with this downward spiral. You know, folks, that's the type of nonsense that I see, and it worries me greatly. People who think that this downward spiral, this economy, is just a 1 week walk in the park and then it's done. Immediately, a crypto analyst saying, if it surges up, we're back to normal and we're back to good. Folks, that is the hurt that's going to be felt in January 2023. People who are looking for the bottom right now, there is no bottom yet in this economy. Stock market is going to go down 50 to 40% downward, because that's what happens in recession. You're only down 23%. That is why the downward spiral of this economy has just begun, and Wall Street traded down significantly on Tuesday. Down initially 500 points early on when they understood they had to embed the risk of a recession into the market. That is why oil's trading downward, for they have to embed the risk of recession into the market. And that's why even today, the 10-year and the 2-year Treasury note remain inverted. That's indicative of a recession. Now, why was the bond yield trading higher today as well? Jay Powell is going to do 3/4 of a basis point at that FOMC meeting of the Federal Reserve in just days from now. We all got that. But what is my guidance on what Jay Powell should do if he believes that raising interest rates battles inflation? He should have done 1 basis point last month, and he should do 1 basis point this month. Yes. Let's go back to that comment from the governor, Waller, Thursday. He says, do big rate hikes when the economy is strong and the labor market can take it. If this is a strong labor market based upon the June jobs read come out today, then Jay Powell should come in much more aggressively. If he believes raising interest rates reduces inflation, he shouldn't do 3/4. He should do a full 1 basis point this month. He should do a 1 basis point last month. And then August, they're off. September, they can do something very light, like 1/4, and we're done. Hit it really hard, Jay Powell. Don't keep on doing these little walks in the park. But he's not. And here's what's also an issue, is that raising interest rates is not going to get down inflation. And that Jay Powell is going to send you a recession because he keeps on doing that. Why do we know that? Because we had the core producer expenditure number released this week as well. And what did that number have in there? It had a headline inflation number. And that headline inflation number showed us that what Jay Powell has done has not worked. Headline inflation showed that for the month of March, it tracked at 6.6%. Then the month of April, 6.3%. Then the month of May, 6.3%. Has anything that Jay Powell's done by raising interest rate work? Not at all. That's why that core personal consumption number released this week was a shocker. And that's why the Dow that day traded down 4 points and the stocks, and that's why gas fell as well across the board. That's why you have to get this forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. Go right in this video, become a member. Get this incredible check. Stay the second half as we go over all these incredible checks one at a time across the board. Why is it important to get that forced stimulus check right now? It's important to get it because there's a financial cliff coming. And that financial cliff is coming so dramatically in view of so much nonsense from financial analysts and so much ridiculous spending. Gasoline prices may not stay high in the next few days, but if they do remain high, then the CPI remains higher. The Federal Reserve will raise rates and a recession is likely. In the next 90 days, unemployment is going to stay at its current levels, 230, or potentially go to 250. Gasoline prices will remain high, and Jay Powell is going to raise his rates. That means that consumer spending will go down, consumer confidence will dwindle, and income will shrink as well. Here's what you need to know when we're talking about the landscape today. Series of reports released in the last 3 days talk about ridiculous spending. It's that type of ridiculous spending that's going to send Americans into a tailspin with a financial cliff. What is a financial cliff? A financial cliff is when the economy changes dramatically from where it is that day to something different the day after. And a financial cliff hits people who don't see it or don't know it's coming. For example, if Americans understand there's a recession underway but don't believe it because they don't feel the hurt yet, then they may spend money out of control. And what is it? It's not what Purple Hawks are doing. It's what everyone else may be doing somewhere else. Well, we saw that guidance yesterday when we learned that the summer concert spending is out of control. Consumers are likely to spend $1,000 this summer alone on going to a concert outside. And they're going to do 55% of the time do it by debt spending, says the report. Imagine spending debt for a concert when the economy is heading into a recession of hurt and has already started a recession. We also saw another report the same day that said consumers are buying cars on debt we've never seen of a generation. Debt that mirrors like buying a house, but it's a car. Very bad spending habits? Yes. Likely to send you in a bubble? Yes. And with that, Americans do not understand that the hurt of this economy is not now. When an analyst says that we're trying to find a bottom of the crypto market this week, that's the type of nonsense that's going to leave people on the wrong side of the equation. And they're not going to be prepared across the board. That's why you get this forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. In the second half of this video, we're going to go over these huge checks done by executive order from Joseph Biden in the month of March. They're huge, $100,000 on average. You go right in this video, become a member. Join the channel right under the video where it says that link, then subscribe and stay to the second half. We're going to go over that big money. But here's a preview of some other stories happening this weekend as well on LALATE. First, student loan debt forgiveness. Student loan debt forgiveness will be announced by the President of the United States in the next few days. I've been reporting that for over a month, and my reporting was confirmed yesterday when we had the latest comments from the Department of Education saying that the announcement from the President will be days away. Why did I say the month of July? Because the President's likely to make that announcement before the August recess. What is he likely to say? Let's go over the details. He's going to forgive $10,000 for individuals who make $150,000 in that respective year. This will be the end of the discussion. He already forgave student loan debts for individuals who became disabled after graduation, people who went to work in the nonprofit or public sector, and that would be the end of the topic. Meantime, what's going on with gasoline prices? Gasoline prices continue to track lower because of a confusion on where we're going with this subject matter. Let me explain the confusion starting right now. There's two different camps of analysis. One is we're going into recession, gasoline's going to go lower. The other one is we're going into recession, gasoline's going to go higher. Confusing? Let me explain what's going on. If gasoline goes low, if gasoline endures a recession, then do consumers stay at home because they're unemployed? Yes, that's one consensus. The other consensus is no, gasoline will track higher because the economy will have higher costs and those higher costs will be embedded in the landscape of this economy. The two frameworks, the two projections are very dramatically different. One camp, me, saying it's going to $145 a barrel international Brent crude. The other camp, Citibank, saying it's going to drop to $65 international Brent crude. Which is the largest of the two camps? The largest of the two camps is going higher. So if you see a cheaper price of gasoline at the pump today, enjoy it. Not particularly that cheap, but it is still higher than March levels. It's the lowest levels we've seen in nearly 30 days. It's going down about 10, 20 cents every few days. Good news for you. Good news for the White House? Well, it's a mixed bag. And what about inflation? This is also very problematic because remember, the CPI, the Consumer Price Index number, surges higher when gasoline prices are higher. If gasoline prices go lower, then inflation's lower, then is Federal Reserve Chair Jay Powell going to hit you with higher interest rates? It's very confusing. We really don't know. I gotta tell you that guidance from Jay Powell in the next FOMC meeting is going to be critical. I hope he says something about lower gas prices. I hope he gives us guidance about the labor market being relatively strong with today's number, but the unemployment being weak yesterday. Because remember, if gasoline remains high, the CPI remains high. If the CPI is high, then the Federal Reserve raises those rates. Yeah, a lot to digest. And that is why you don't roll the dice on stimulus. You get the money across the board. There's a couple of things you need to know as we go into the big second half when we go over these stimulus checks in every U.S. state. Number one, you qualify, and you cannot roll the dice on where this economy is going because the economy is just too hard to predict. Number two, a financial cliff is looming, and you can't wait for that financial cliff to hit. You need to grab the money before the financial cliff hits. What happens when the financial cliff hits? Then millions of Americans look left and right to get assistance. And when they look left and right to get the assistance, where will they be? They'll be here. They'll be competing against you for stimulus. You don't want that. You get that forced stimulus check in every U.S. state now. What's also going to happen is that when that financial cliff hits, Americans are going to be blindsided because the stimulus items that they had loved 2020 are gone. And when would that financial cliff hit? In my opinion, in September. Early September is when that financial cliff is going to hit. It's not the recession. It's a change of the status quo from now to a different situation. And what will it involve? It'll involve layoffs. It'll involve corporate hiring freezes. That situation will be the lead up to a recession, and Americans may not be prepared for it. First, they may not be prepared for it with rampant spending, as detailed earlier in this recording. Spending $1,000 on a concert this summer, and running up debt for it. Believing that this is the bottom of the crypto market when we have 2 years going downward. This is the bottom of the stock market when we're going to go 40% down. We're only 20% down. Rampant spending in the wrong level, raising debt at the home and seeing that debt surge out of control. Buying cars on the highest levels debts I've never seen in a generation. Why? Because they think the good times are here to stay. Folks, it's scary. It's very scary. You're not doing that. You don't have to worry about you're not doing that. You have to worry about them coming here to this channel in a few weeks and asking for stimulus. That's why you got to get the money right today. What's going to happen? Layoffs are going to grow, as we saw Tesla announcing 8% of its workforce laid off. Coinbase, 10% laid off. Hiring freezes announced, Tesla and Coinbase, and store closures. Tesla closing Silicon Valley. Americans are going to start to look for assistance. And they're going to be shocked because the assistance of 2020 is gone. PEUC, PUA, LWA, EIDL grant, EIDL loan, FPUC, all the unemployment assistance is gone. All the small business assistance is gone. And then there may not be jobs to replace the existing jobs they have as well. Let's understand that jobs number released today showed that jobs surged, had 360,000, showed a surge of job creation in the month of June, higher than they expected at 250. But that doesn't mean those jobs are going to be there when the economy downward spirals. Those people will be here looking for that stimulus. In the second half of this video, we're going to go over that incredible stimulus. It's a lot of money. And the incredible lot of money is coming in just days from now. What do you do? Step one, go under this video and subscribe. Step two, become a member. And step three, stay the second half as we go over those 4 stimulus checks in every U.S. state. Plus, we'll be going over the latest details on the Build Back Better Act and the raising up of your benefits. We got a big second half. We're just getting started. But first, here's a little bit about the community page. As America's most loved show at the evening in primetime continues, it's evenings at LALATE. Become a member during that commercial break, and I'll be back with you in 60 seconds. As evenings at LALATE continues tonight from the shores of Santa Monica, California, with all the news. As oil continues to surge out of control, we'll have the latest details on where oil is heading. We'll go over what you need to know about your money, and we'll go over what will happen with the Build Back Better Act when it gets voted upon, what you need to know with that money. It's evenings, and it continues in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community.
The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE.
And the excitement continues right now in a big second half for July 8th, 2022 from the shores of Santa Monica, California. Hope you're having a beautiful afternoon. Hope you're having a beautiful evening. And stay with me all weekend long. I will be live on camera with breaking news across the board. Forced stimulus check is in every U.S. state. In the month of March, the viewership of this channel asked me to find it, and I found it. These are checks from the President of the United States. They're executive order for stimulus checks. Let's go over the details of them, starting right now. First, the overview. Where these checks come from. They came from the president, executive branch, executive order. Didn't come from Congress, didn't require a vote, and did not come from your state. Now, you may not like your state. You may say, my state's not helping. You're probably right. This is not their money. This is not state stimulus. This is not state law. This is from the federal government. It is in every U.S. state. Repeat back with me. There is money for you in every U.S. state. Averaging about $100,000. We're going to go over all these incredible checks in just a second. First, eligibility. Longtime viewer Kat says you do really well with eligibility, LA. I'm very focused on it. Single individual, $75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get it. If you rent, if you own, if you have children, if you don't have children, go get it. If you're on benefits, SSI or SSDI, go get it. Number two, I wanted big checks, large checks, because that's what could endure you through this pandemic. That's what going to survive you through this recession. That's what's going to get you through the financial cliff. Number three, these checks are easy to get. As longtime viewer Carol says, you make it so easy for viewers. You absolutely put it all together in a brilliantly devised, easy to navigate newsletter. Delivered to them, all they have to do is just go get the checks. You do all the work for them. Thank you, Carol, for those nice comments. And with that, let's go over all these incredible checks, starting with the first one, Check A. A $6,500 to $12,000 forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. Single individual, $75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get it. If you are on benefits, go get it as well. How do you get this incredible check? Step one, go under this video and become a member. Step two, get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alert system. And go right down to you see the wonderful Check A and pounce. Get it. Click the link, it goes into the nationwide website, choose your state, and then choose the weatherizing grand check and go get it. You're not going to stop there yet. You're going to go get Check B. Check B is a wonderful forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. Single individual, $75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get it. It is $15,000 to $80,000. My goodness, incredible news. This huge check, how do you get this wonderful check upwards of $80,000? Step one, go under this video and subscribe. Step two, become a member. Get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alert system and go down to you see Check B. Click the link, it goes into the nationwide website. Choose your state and there you go. Go get it. And that is deliciousness. Look how we've done so far in just a few seconds. We've gotten $12,000 on check A, $6,500 to $12,000. We've got in check B upwards of $80,000. That's $100,000 just right there. But you're not going to stop. You're going to go get check C. It's a beautiful monthly stimulus check on average. $2,000 over 12 months. My goodness. Upwards of a wonderful 45,000 is what viewers are tracking at, and a lot of viewers have gotten over 100,000. How do you get this wonderful check C? Step 1, subscribe. Step 2, become a member. Go down in the membership newsletter till you find check A and check B, and there's check C. It tells you who to call, what to say, and where to say it. Get that incredible check C, and it's likely to be one of the most important checks of 2022. Why is that? Because 2022 is going to be a year in which Americans are going to wake up and realize that the stimulus of 2020 is not there. Rent assistance gone. Mortgage assistance gone. Mortgage forbearance gone. Eviction moratorium gone. And then utility service, they can turn it off. It's a whole different year, a whole different ball game. That's why you go get check C. Rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and more. It's in every U.S. state. And let's go over the history of this on this channel. This channel has gotten over $50 million for viewers since 2020 when it launched. And the numbers for rent, oh my goodness. Do you want these numbers for rent? Go get check C. $20,000 to up to $30,000 like Elizabeth. Do you want these numbers for utilities? Mark's brother-in-law got $15,000. Nancy got $7,000. You want $25,000 over 10 years? For SNAP, that's what Mark's brother-in-law got, $250,000. And what about the combinations? Boy, combo. Nisi was at $23,000. Now she's at $50,000. Mark was at $32,000. Now he's at $166,000. What'd he do? He went from $32,000, then he went to $50,000, then he went to $100,000, and then he got check B just days ago. He's at $166,000. Lorraine, she was at $105,000. Now she's at $150,000. What are they doing? They're going back and getting money on a regular basis because that's what you do. You don't make one day effort. Come on now. You get money and then you continue to go back and getting money. Lorraine, Nisi, Mark, Johnny, all these people on the live chats on a regular basis, they keep on getting money. Every few days you go back and getting money. Let's recap. Step 1, go into this video, subscribe. Step 2, go down on the video where it says join the channel as a member. Click the link and get that membership signed up right tonight. You can't wait to get this money. Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP member. Join right today. Then get that membership newsletter Monday through Friday. And pounce and get that money. Number 3, go under this video and hit that, or at the front of this channel, hit that bell and make sure notifications set to all on. Let's go over that newsletter. First, it's delivered Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's West Coast time, so you don't know your time zone, adjust accordingly. Number 2, it's sent via the YouTube alerts written by me at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You'll see an alert that comes in that says New LA Post. You see the first line will say the LA newsletter. Go down and click the link. It says click here to go into the post. You click it and go in the post, and there you go. Get that incredible money across the board. Now, it's important to get these 4 stimulus checks in every U.S. state because this money is available today. The recession is underway. The recession hurt is going to happen next year. The financial cliff is coming. And you don't want to wait to get this money because the Build Back Better Act is not paying money today. It ain't paying money today. It's a different year, and money is being paid in a different way. Let's go over everything you need to know right now. You need to forget 2020. You need to forget 2021. You need to forget early 2022. This is 2022 July. This is the way money is being paid out right now. $600 stimulus check, not going to get you through this financial cliff. $300, $1,000 stimulus check, not going to get you through this 2-year recession. You get this big money right now because the hurt is going to hurt really bad if you don't. The stimulus stampede is going to absolutely happen when Americans feel the hurt of this economy. And they're going to be here, and you're not going to want to wait for them to show up because they're going to be competing against you for the money. You get the money when it's available across the board. Let's now turn to the Build Back Better Act and its latest update today. It's all new today, and there's a lot of news to go through on that as well. The Build Back Better Act has a series of wonderful provisions in there, but that Build Back Better Act is not going to pay you soon enough. The Build Back Better Act is going to a potential vote by the end of July, says Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer. You can believe it for whether you wish or you don't want to wish. And then a new report released today has interviews with no less than a half dozen to dozen congressional leaders. And some of them saying the Build Back Better Act is absolutely getting done in the next few days, and others saying it's never going to happen. So there's a whole disparity of comments about its likelihood. Yesterday, Sam Runyon, who is the spokesperson for Joe Manchin, had just hideous negativity about the subject matter. I don't know what to take of it, but here's what I want to go over is the provisions with you. First, the Build Back Better Act is not going to pay you $100,000 of checks like I have for you right now, on average, in every U.S. state. Second, the Build Back Better Act will always require you to do work like you're doing right now, or an effort like you're doing right now to get checks. There's $15,000 to $80,000 of checks in the Build Back Better Act, but that's not coming automatically. You got to do something to get them. So why wait for them when you can get more money right now in a simpler way? Number two, the $225,000 for the purchase of your first home, that's likely to survive. The $250 billion of free home health care for seniors on disabilities, that's likely to survive. And then what about the MSC? There will be multiple stimulus checks in there, but the likelihood of a monthly stimulus check is dependent upon the magnitude of how big the Build Back Better Act survives. If it gets shrinked dramatically, then there may not be a lot of room to have it survive across the board. Let's go over the individual clusters at issue. Cluster number one, hazard pay for my essential workers. That's likely to survive one more year of the earned income tax credit. $4,000 of elder care, $4,000 of care for young children. The nutrition, the home repairs, all likely to survive. But the $12,500 for the purchase of a new electric vehicle reportedly is under battlement at the moment. Cluster number two, everything is likely not to survive. Paid leave is out. And the home repairs is now check B, covered early in this recording. And then in that third cluster, seniors and free internet checks, well, those are likely to survive. Checks for independent, checks for vision, hearing, dental, those are likely to survive if everything continues as expected. Meantime, let's go over the benefits going up. Your benefits are going up, says the Social Security Administration head, Joe Goss. But how much, where, and will they stay up if gasoline goes down? Based upon the May read of that CPI released just weeks ago, Social Security says your benefits are going to go up about another 8%. Wow, that's $300 more per month. Now, if gasoline tracks higher, which it has in recent days, then your benefits could go up to 9%. We're looking at that CPI-W. It's released in the month of July, August, and September. It's a subsection of the CPI. If that gasoline goes higher, then the CPI-W goes higher, and then your benefits will go higher. When do we see this? We see this in July. We see that this month. Currently, gasoline's down this month, so we'll see if the CPI-W does not go higher. And if Goss is correct, it's a really hard way to project this out. We have a downward spiral on gasoline prices in the last 3 weeks, so we'll see what happens. Takeaway is that Goss is putting in 8% as your lift. That's $300 more per month. If gasoline's higher, it's more to 9%. So it's all good across the board. The question is how much better it can get for you left and right. A lot going on in just a few days on this channel. A lot going on the financial news front from the Congress, from the White House, and from Wall Street. Let's go over what you need to know about what's coming up in the next few days and what's coming up over the weekend. First, we're going to see a series of analysts really not gauging in this economy well. They've been doing this for a while. They keep on saying there will never be a recession. Well, we already have technically a recession. They're already trying to project the bottom of this market started already. No, it hasn't started. And they're trying to basically get you to do things that they want you to do. What you need to do is prepare accordingly. The financial hurt is coming. Get as much stimulus as you can. Raise your savings right today. And remove adjustable rate debt at home. And that is credit card debt, car loan debt, anything that has adjustable rate. Get ready for potential gasoline prices to track higher once again. The CPI coming higher and the Fed rates going higher as well. Meantime, expect gasoline price of goods not to potentially track lower, recessionary winds to pick up, and mortgage rates to pick up as well. Consumer spending, income, and also confidence are likely to track lower. As to the Build Back Better Act, expected July passage, says Schumer and Pelosi, but a smaller bill with still a lot of checks. A day in which a job number really shocked the American people was today. Yesterday, unemployment surged higher than even some people expected. That's the confusing economy we have. We have a very confusing economy where things do not particularly line up. What I need you to know is that with an economy where things don't line up, don't get confused left and right. Understand that things are not necessarily what they may seem day after day. What am I saying? When an economy slows down, then it doesn't always slow down at an even pace. It may look good for a moment and then get worse thereafter. It's sort of like a downward spiral for stocks or bonds or crypto. What you need to know is that things get worse, you need to prepare accordingly. That is with getting that forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. What ultimately will be the downfall of the American persons is that they think that the good times are here to stay, that they don't need assistance, and that the 2020 stimulus is still there. It's not in its form. A recession's underway. You need to accept it as where it is. You have to accept that it's going to get worse, but you don't wait for it to get worse. You get the money that's available today. And with that, boy, what a day it has been. What a week it has been. I will be with you all weekend long. Programming continues on this channel throughout the day and evening and the next morning, with mornings LALATE every night at 5 o'clock. Evenings, excuse me, did I just say that? Evenings LALATE every night at 5 o'clock. Evenings countdown at 6 o'clock. Stream stimulus at 7. 8 o'clock is extra. 9 o'clock is sunset. Then programming continues tomorrow morning at early mornings LALATE at 4 a.m. with mornings live on air at 9. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, God bless. Get all that money that you deserve. Get it today. Go right on this video and become a member. Don't wait to get the money. Go around this video and become a member. Purple Hawk, Pearl Power, Calcino, VIP. And with that, stay informed, stay focused, have a beautiful night. Stay here, stay informed, and stay with LALATE for more.